You okay, Damien? We are live. by the way.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, good. Sorry guys. Hopefully you will still join. That was just me being a complete idiot, and clicking the end stream button instead of the leave button on my phone. Not too used to the UI there. In like tennis related news though, Comesana has already saved 2 set points.
Mhm.
Miller is like ramping up the pace of the grounds. There's some timing issues for Fran with that. Still making quite a lot of unforced errors on his forehand. I think there's the guy just likes playing off the back foot a bit more, I guess. And the matchup with Zverev kind of fit him more, I think, than the one against Miller.
Yeah, because
But
Müller is taking the ball way earlier than Zverev did.
yeah, and Comesana just doesn't have as much time to steal the points and just basically throw curveballs at his opponents, which he's very good at. And it's forcing him to go maybe too aggressive on the forehand here.
Yeah. And he's hit that high backhand return as well a few times, and Comesana has not had the forehand in his strike zone.
Yeah. So anyway, by now we are on 3 set points saved by Comesana. This is of course still the 3-5 game, so even if he serves this one out or this game out, Miller will still get the opportunity to take the set next up. But for now, of course, the goal is just to survive. The questions you want?
Yeah, but I'll wait till the game ends.
Okay. Hopefully some of you guys have rejoined us after our, or rather mine, mistake. But yeah, we'll be there for the end of the match. Don't worry. No more switching streams, hopefully. But we will be there, so don't worry about it. And yeah, if one of your questions is about ATP Weekly, then yeah, I haven't replied to that since I was busy with the editing. But yeah, I don't know. I guess evening would be more or less okay tomorrow. Rio final is probably 9 p.m. our time. So yeah, I think after Rio would be.
Probably about this.
After Rio would be okay. After Rio would be okay.
I like that.
All the challenger finals are pretty early in the day. Last ones are 3 p.m. So evening should be okay.
Are you available this time tomorrow, Vanch?
Actually, I think I'm going to be on site, so probably not.
Look at you!
Challenger Vanch.
Challenger Van.
Yeah, Challenger in the same week as Acapulco, Dubai, Merida. Should be fun.
But that's where it's at. It's all eyes will be on San Diego. Who are the big attractions there, Vanch?
Well, we've got one top 100 player in Arthur Cazot.
Is that why you had a shave, by the way, Vanch? Is it because of the San Diego Challenger?
No, I shaved this over a week ago, but
oh yeah,
because of Arthur Cazot coming to San Diego.
there was another question
I had hair in my mouth, but
I can't remember what it
What's
was.
up?
I think
Jensen Brooksby is playing.
Oh, that's right, Damien. Are you okay to finish the stream?
Yeah.
You got Terence Adman.
Okay, good. Fine.
You got Camille Marshrock, so it's a good field, I guess.
Yeah, it's solid. I mean, definitely a field I would like to see. For North American challengers, it's pretty good. Obviously, that's because Indian Wells is coming up. North American challengers, they only really get good fields before the US Open, and I guess before Indian Wells too. Of course, not counting Phoenix, that's obviously gonna get good fields.
You also have American clay court specialist Tristan Boyer.
How close is he to the top 100 now?
Few spots. I think he's 114, 115, something like that.
So he'd need to probably make the final or something like that.
Yeah.
And I did I didn't lie to you, but I did forget about something. So when I said that Cazot is the only top 100 player playing a challenger next week, it might actually be 2 of them. Collignon if he wins Pau. he's going to be a top 100 player. But then I think he
Okay.
might knock out Kazo. So it might be just one actually, and it's just
Okay.
Corino or Kazo depending on who wins the Paul final tomorrow between Rafael Corino and Patrick Zahray. Well,
Yep.
Comesana obviously ended up holding 3 set points saved. I remember the third one was a serve that Müller didn't get to. There was one where he also was pretty aggressive and he smashed the ball away, I think, at 30-40. Don't
I
remember
feel like
the
there
third.
have been some challenges recently in the last couple of years where there have been like a lot of exciting players, and then at the end, I'm not saying this player isn't exciting, but he's just very solid. At the end, like Taro Daniel just ends up winning it.
It happens definitely. I mean, Taro, the last couple of years, he's like used the Challenger Tour smartly at the end of the season, especially to stick around the top 100. The Australia appearances, Seoul, and stuff like that. So I think it does happen, and he is playing San Diego as well.
Mm-hmm. But
Okay.
he's like the number 5 seed, so like
Yeah. Presently, I
Yeah,
don't think this is one of these challengers. I'm definitely not going to be picking him to win this title.
yeah, I wouldn't either. But like if everybody just ends up knocking each other out, or like there's a bit of a mess, like I could see him just being the most steady.
Alexandre Müller, by the way, is playing Frances Tiafoe in Acapulco next week, so switching surfaces very quickly. All the other semifinalists from Rio are playing Santiago instead. And, we might have some big developments here.
Actually, Lestian, I don't think is playing it anymore. I thought he was in the entry list this morning.
Oh, maybe not. He was injured in Glasgow, so
Oh,
probably
actually,
that's why.
no. I think he is in it right now. He hasn't pulled out yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I still see him.
Jake, I don't know if
Yeah.
Jake is still here, but Jake said that he was like shaking his right wrist. Anyway, Comesana of this fantastic backhand line, he sets
Yeah.
up 2 breakpoints here.
That was a great
So
shot.
still not done in the opening set, and saving these 3 set points might actually end up being super crucial.
Yeah, I felt like that last game was pretty big that he managed to hold from 15-40 down and another break point.
Yeah, definitely no draws yet for San Diego. I think starting right now are Acapulco qualies as well, with Passavaredi, Tien in action. And Francisco Comesana will break back for 5 games all. Now, that's a turnaround that, I don't know if we expected, but certainly at 3-6, at 3-5, 15-40, things were looking horrible for Comesana, and now he's got all the momentum to possibly attack Müller in the next 2 games.
Yeah. Played a pretty good return game there, actually.
Yeah, more of that action kind of from like the Zverev match, where his steal percentage suddenly goes up, and even though he's under pressure in the first 3-4 shots, he just manages to turn it around and find his opportunity to prevail. Baez Comesana or Baez Müller, I guess I would probably trust that Müller to be a better, more tougher opponent for Baez tomorrow, but it's obviously not clear.
Yeah, I feel like Baez is like a slightly better version of Comesana,
Yeah. Definitely has like the more reliable, heavier forehand.
Yeah.
Not quite as aggressive though.
Comesana has like more shots, but I think Baez is more
Oh, for
effective.
sure. Yeah. Baez just like knows what he wants to play and he just does it. Like there's no real variety in his game, but he knows very well like what he's good at.
Yep.
Like a more forehand oriented Diego Schwartzman kind of, and that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, but in order to become Diego Schwartzman, he's gonna have to do a little bit more outside of the golden swing than he is doing right now. So we'll see if he's able to do that throughout his career. Oh, how about that backhand return winner out of nowhere for Müller? 40 love down. Just takes the backhand super early down the line. Right off the first serve. So not out of this game yet.
Yeah, Comesana like kicked it off so well with the drop shot, then a big forehand, and you just think he's gonna steamroll to 6-5. Not necessarily the case though after this
They
Miller
were fault at
backhand
40
return.
15. So
Exactly. Well, I mean, this match just has a lot of twists and turns for us, almost as many as the Siniakova Townsend Sie Ostapenko first set today. Now that was a classic. Unfortunately, just the first set.
yeah.
And wasn't even that good sometimes quality wise. Like Taylor was playing some shots that I think, I don't know, just at this level of doubles, it's not excusable. But the circus, like the drama, the attention was definitely there. And so we are at deuce now here. Comesana playing another drop shot, but Miller is on point there. Very quick to run up to it, hit that backhand cross, get the point, and suddenly we are deuce from 40 love for Comesana. Maybe he's just gonna start reading the droppers that well.
Wow. 40 love to break point. Oh, and not that time because Muller picks him off with the forehand pass cross court. The slice was, right to Muller, and Muller was, just ready to take it super early.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad like aggressive slice approach, I don't think, but it didn't really do the damage, like the uncomfortable feeling that he was planning to give to Miller. He takes it early. He takes it, with an angle that's like unreachable for the volleyer. And suddenly, again, from 40 love, 6-5, Miller gets to serve again for the opening set.
Yeah, I feel like he's doing a lot. He's doing more damage Muller off the slice than Zverev was yesterday, where Zverev was just so uncomfortable getting down low for those on his
Yeah.
forehand mostly. On the backhand, he was fine. On the backhand, Zverev can do anything, but seems like at least.
And on the volley, he can't do anything.
Yeah. Pretty much the play against Zverev is like hit that slice defensive pass right at his shoelaces. Either he'll miss that one or he'll pop it up for you and then you can pass him.
Yeah, it's kind of wild how, there are so many clear issues with Zverev's game, and yet he's number 2 in the world.
Yeah. No, I mean, yesterday he looked one dimensional. Like he really did. Like the Comesana made him look that way. So. But it's just most pairs don't have that ability to consistently play like that against him because he just sucks you into his own game with like how physical he makes it, and then like just he asks like a pretty high standard for you like over and over again, and it's like If you don't have variety or creativity, you're probably not going to hit through him.
Oh, at this point, I'm almost expecting this break for Comesana. I mean,
Yeah, it's that kind of match, honestly.
just 22% of his second serve points won by Müller. Comesana, well, a bit more, but like on first serve, it's 50 something for both players. Of course, it's clay,
I
but
wonder if Muller's going to serve and volley. He hasn't done it yet very often. Maybe once or twice.
and you said that in yesterday's match he was doing it pretty often
Oh, no, he did it a lot against Fonseca. But
against Fonseca. Okay, yeah, I
it's
mean
just not
all the Müller
yeah.
matches this week, I think like they were so late in the day that I couldn't watch them.
Yeah.
Especially waking up for the Pune action later or something like that.
But yeah, both guys are really struggling on their serve in general. First serve, I think Comesana's only won 55% of his first serve points. Müller 58. Okay, this is a little better from Müller spreading the court. The forehand.
Yeah, it's not a serve and volley, but he does come in to finish off
Yeah.
that point.
I remember he did it a ton when he played Daniil Medvedev in Wimbledon. And yeah, he had Medvedev in big trouble in that match. I think like second round or something.
Well, not even Kasidit Samre recently had Daniel in trouble.
It's kind of the last event that Medvedev played where he looked like a top player.
Wimbledon? Yeah, possibly.
Oh, but that time he actually the slice worked pretty well there for him at 15:30. Steve Johnson was on the call yesterday for Tennis Channel calling the Comesana serve, and he was just loving Comesana with the slice.
Makes sense. A guy who had free backhands.
Yeah.
Slice, top spin, two hands, top spin, one hander.
Yeah. He does sort of cut through the court in a similar way, for sure.
Another guy with a very like simplistic kind of limited game, but like just knowing what he does well and making a living on that. Kind of similar to like Sonnen maybe. In the sense that like
look at that!
all
Look at
about
that half volley backhand.
I know, yeah. I mean, this was so close to the breaker here for Comesana. Müller just like barely has the time.
He was
to
like
set
in
up.
no man's land, retreating back as he hit it, and he just catches the sideline. Pretty insane.
Yeah, zero control on it, but it does get into deuce here and could be very, very important in the long run.
Oh, and then a really nice +1 here. The serve down the tee. I think Müller was really caught off guard by that. He was expecting it to go out wide.
Yeah, partially watching this game, I'm like, how does Alexandre Müller have like 58% of his first serve points won in this set? Since, well, basically he's actually taking advantage of any weaker return.
Yeah. So another set point for him. And then again, he just like comes in and he puts away the volley on the forehand, and it has set up by a really good kick serve. Yeah. And yeah, wow, Alexandre Müller from these last two games, 5-all, 40 love. And you thought Comesana was going to hold easily, and it got very complicated and
pretty wild set, that's for sure. But he ends up on the winning end. Yeah, three game points in a row to get to 6-5 for Comesana on serve, and then that set point, actually the break point as well, the one where where he found the ridiculous backhand down the line. Somewhat
I mean, can you
fortunate, but
actually
also
win this tournament? Can you
Hmm?
actually win this tournament? That would be pretty wild. Alexander Müller wins 2 titles this year. One of them a
2
500.
titles, and one of them is a 500. Maybe it's just going to be a natural progression. He wins the 250 in January, he wins the 500 in February, 1,000 in March. He could not win a Grand Slam in April or in May, but he could win it in June. Last year, I think he was demolished by Yannick Sinner at the French Open. Maybe this time. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Maybe it was 2 years ago. But there was definitely a night session with Alexandre Müller, and the match just didn't make any sense with the night session because, well, it
But
was
like, I
guaranteed.
don't remember. I don't remember him playing like this. That's the thing that's taken me by surprise this week. Is like, I didn't realize he had this many things in his game.
Yeah, it's his 5 minutes, maybe even more. And he is definitely doing very well at just using that. Okay, Jake was there earlier. What happened to the stream? Yes, that's exactly true. How has my day been? Fine. Lots of very good challenger stories this week. Very excited for the finals tomorrow. Otherwise, what did I do? I woke up with a small hangover, but it didn't stop me from going for a run, so that's good. By now I'm fine, and otherwise, it's been full of tennis, really. Baez, the golden swing goat. Who's the golden swing goat? Maybe Baez, indeed. I mean,
I
at
think
least
Baez.
from the Rio-ish,
I think
from
there's only
when Rio
one
originated.
tournament that he hasn't won in the Golden Swing. Like,
Well, I mean, of the
think-
ones existing right now, I'm not sure he's won Buenos Aires, has he?
yeah, that's the one because I know he won Cordoba. So then he's won Cordoba, Santiago, Rio. So then it would have to be
Yeah,
I
but
think
Cordoba
Buenos
at this
Aires.
point doesn't fully count, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's won Buenos Aires, so
Actually, this is a good question. Who's going to win Buenos Aires first, Fran Cerrone or Sebastian Baez? We'll see. Maybe none of them will win.
I mean, it's actually something I saw a discussion like this on Twitter the other day. Basically, someone said that Comesana is the best prospect for Argentina right now, other than Cerundolo. I already had some issues with this because, like, at this point, Fran isn't really a prospect to me. Like, I think,
Yeah, Fran is. We know who Fran is by now. He's way too
and the
developed
funny
for
thing
that.
is, like, we could be talking about both Frans, so both Comesana and Cerundolo, but especially Cerundolo.
Comesana can- yeah,
But like even
that's the
Comesana
thing.
is more or less a developed player. It's not.
Yeah.
He's not Joao Fonseca, who's like might play completely different in a year or two. He is a
Yeah.
developed player. Like,
Th-
yeah, we
this
know
this
what his skills
this
are.
kind of thing annoys me when people talk about Francis Tiafoe as like, oh, he could be like last year. They were saying like, oh, he could be so great for American tennis, and like he's such a he's a future star. And I'm like, he's been around 10 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get that. I definitely got that feeling. But anyway, what I was bringing this up was that Sebastian Baez was mentioned by somebody in that conversation as like, well, don't disrespect him. He's also there, and it started kind of an interesting discussion about the ceilings and the floors. Obviously, I think it's obvious that like Fran Cerundolo is a higher ceiling player than Baez, but Baez actually has more titles and in terms of resumes, it's not that easy to just like peak Cerundolo. I think I would still do it because of the slam runs and because of the ATP 1000 runs, but it's it is a conversation at least, which kind of makes you think. But yeah, I would assume that like Cerundolo will probably end with some just bigger achievements. I don't know if more titles because again, Baez is just insane at picking up these 250s and even the Rio 500. But yeah, Cerundolo if one of them is reaching a Grand Slam quarterfinal this year, obviously it's Fran.
By the way, I don't know how it started, but everyone seems to say, "Oh, he has a really high floor." It's like
Who?
no, just in general when we talk about players, like we use
Uh-huh.
the term floor and ceiling a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a middle term for it between floor and ceiling. What's
Middle
the
ground.
middle? Like windows or something?
Yeah, floor and ceiling. I mean, probably just like base level. No, that's
Yeah.
floor.
uh,
No, that's
uh,
floor. That's floor. That doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. Oh, and
Um,
also like, what is a high? Like, I'm just trying to think about it. Like, high floor is like, okay.
good base level. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
High floor. Does it make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Maybe
if it
in
like
terms
actually
of the
makes
analogy.
sense visually, but okay. I
Yeah,
see
maybe
where
in terms of the analogy, like kind of in real life, it doesn't make sense.
it doesn't like what is a high floor in real life? Like, is the floor that I'm on high? Is it not? Okay.
It's a floor that has smoked a lot of pot. So I guess between that and I mean, it's just like your average level. So
Yeah.
Windows probably doesn't make sense. There's the window
No.
sill.
Yeah. The stairs, maybe? I don't know. The stairs to the top.
To the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Maybe not.
topic
Yeah.
for another.
Yeah. Topic for another day. Maybe someone can like push it even further at some point. I think there was a stream where I tried to call a 6 to set another like bakery item. I don't remember what it was. But
Okay, I've heard that before, but I never remember the name. What is the
yeah,
6 to 7?
it wasn't the best of ideas. I think I said it was like no, I don't remember if it was a pretzel or something like that. I don't know.
Could be a pretzel. Yeah. Bagel, breadstick. No. Pretzel. These are all things you get at a theme park, carnival. I don't know.
Anyway, Fran Comesana already up after winning the first game on serve. Kind of overplaying some of these drop shots right now. Müller does seem to be catching on pretty quick in terms of expecting the moments when Comesana will play them.
Yeah. Muller has also been using that wide serve position a lot on the outside. Trying to get that
Remind you
angle.
of that famous edition when Attila Balázs played Gianluca Mager in the semifinals.
Was that 2020?
Yeah, that's after
Yeah.
Mager beat Team,
Right.
soon to be US Open champ.
Team has won Buenos Aires and Rio. Don't
Yeah,
know if
Buenos Aires
he-
when he played Rafa, and Rio definitely as well.
Yeah. But he didn't always play his best, for sure.
Most of the time, though. Like, the Mager loss is probably the one that really stands out, but
He also lost like 4-0 to Verdasco one year. I think 2018 maybe.
yeah. He used to have a horrible head-to-head with Verdasco. I don't
Right.
know if he, like, got it closer at some point or not, but it was,
He beat him
like,
on the way to winning Vienna, which I think was big. Because
yeah, sort of like 4-1 maybe, I don't know.
he beat him and he beat Songa. He always struggled against both of them.
Team even got to play Tsonga enough.
I believe so. Where he beats, and then he beat. Yeah, I feel like he beat everybody that he struggled with and to win that tournament. He also struggled against Berrettini. He beats him in the semis.
So that Songa team head-to-head was 2-1. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, so not that many matches then.
But he was 0-2 when he
Yeah.
beat him in Vienna. That obviously you're right about. I didn't remember that much against Verdasco, yeah, because I think he also lost to him even indoors, like 2 years earlier. But yeah,
Yeah.
that one I think was bigger,
For
like
Songa,
4-1, 5-1.
the reason I think I remember that is that in 2016, that was like when everybody was expecting Team to have a. People were talking really high about Team before going into Indian Wells, and then like Songa just beats him 3-2, and we were like expecting Team versus Djokovic, I think, in the quarters. Instead, we get Songa versus Djokovic.
Yeah, Verdasco is 4-1 on team, so only that one went for dummy.
Yeah.
Oh, now we know that this head-to-head will never return, considering that both Verdasco and Team are actually now retired. About 13 years apart, but it was Team who retired earlier. Well, technically, since Verdasco.
Yeah. I thought Verdasco had already retired, to be honest, because he was coaching.
I said
But
somewhere that like he retired in 2023, even because I mean I don't care, for all intents and purposes. Yeah, he retired 2023. Like I don't care. He didn't play for over a year. He can show up, in all the doubles events he wants, but he did
by the way,
retire.
this reminds me. What are your thoughts on Venus Williams getting a wild card? She plays like 2 tournaments
Ooh.
every year, and she's like almost 45.
Yeah, tough question. I mean, I can see both sides of the argument for sure. When
too.
she did play, she was looking pretty okay. Like she still had some fun moments.
2023, she looked good, right? She beats Kuromatova in Cincinnati. She wins some matches on the grass. But
Yeah,
then
was
like,
that the year she beats Giorgi, was it? Karolina
Georgie,
Georgi?
yeah, she beats
Yeah.
Georgie, and she beats Ostapenko, I think, too. Or
Oh
maybe
wow.
loses a really tight one to Penko, like 7-6 in the third, maybe.
Yeah, I think she played Georgie and was also very tight. Kind of ideal matchup because there's not that like you don't need to move all that much.
And she played decently all right against Svitolina too in Wimbledon. Svitolina goes on that run, the
Yeah.
semis.
I mean, it was
But I
clear
think,
she had like 1.5 sets like physically
yeah.
in her.
But then I think the U.S. Open was really ugly. Like she loses to Griedmann in like 1-1, and then wasn't competitive at all last year.
Basically, last year, yeah, she plays just Indian Wells and Miami with wildcards. Looks like we might be
Yeah,
in for a repeat.
I think that's her plan now. Just those two sunshine swing every year.
I don't know. I mean,
We'll see.
is she still a big like ticket? Does she bring
Probably,
seats to the like passes to the stadium? Um,
but probably less than before because the name value is there. But I guess we have to see how.
if I was in Indian
Yes.
Wells, I'd go see her match. Yeah, we don't know
Yeah,
how much she's been practicing and everything, but like if she only played Indian Wells in Miami, I doubt she was like training super hard for the next 9 months. After all, like she is still on that level of like natural talent. Well, I think she can show up randomly after a year and just look very good for maybe again that's 7.5.
yeah,
But I don't know. I mean, with every single year, of course, there's like an even bigger danger of her
yeah.
basically getting crushed by some complete random, I don't know, Emiliana Arango, and then what are we even doing?
Right.
Sorry to Emiliana Arango, but like
Playing
outside of
Merida
altitude events,
qualifying right now.
yeah, she beat Katarzyna Kawa today, but yeah, I mean, outside of altitude events, she's not really a threat.
Yeah. But the way that Slice, mixed results so far in this game, Deuce.
I'd like someone to organize like a drop shots exhibition where basically they invite the best players in terms of the drop shot, and they have like I don't know, if you score a point with a drop shot, like it has to be a winner, then you get 3 points or something like that.
But then Ons Jabeur would just win the tournament.
Yeah, you have to get Alcaraz, you have to get Marozsan. I don't know who else. Comesana, obviously, since we're watching him, and that's why I'm even thinking about it.
Somebody who drops shots very often and wins most of their points.
Well, Iga Świątek definitely wouldn't be involved.
No, but maybe Igor Swiatek 4 years ago would have been.
Oh yeah.
5 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, 4.5. Well, Comesana does win the game eventually after another drop shot where Müller was pretty quick to react, but he misses the get. So Sebastian Baez has as many Grand Slam third rounds as Francisco Comesana. That's pretty insane.
And he could
What
be
is
the player with the most titles. Actually, tied with Felix for the most titles after amongst the players born in the 2000s. After Alcaraz and Sinner. So you go like Alcaraz, Sinner, Felix, and Baez with 7 each.
Yeah, Jake Pear, I guess, is a fine shout. I guess he's just good at like all the touch shots, and maybe that's why he doesn't like come to mind instantly. But yeah, Hugo Gaston, for the drop shots competition.
Mute.
Yeah, Gaston, I think is even more, but Mute obviously also should be there too. What is Usha Radwanska up to these days? She's still playing. Recently had a decent run at the W75 in Leszno, where I think I would have probably visited for a couple of days if I wasn't in Lille at the time. But yeah, she had a decent run there. She's still playing. She's still trying. Her husband is a former player as well, and her coach. He was banned for match fixing for like 7 years. Came back for maybe 2 matches, but yeah, he's a fun individual as well. And yeah, she's still competing, even though nobody at this point kind of like cares about her. And well, but she recently played Tamira Paszek, which was just insane. You know that we got a Radwanska Paszek match in like 2025.
Venus in her prime on a grass court. Yeah, I mean the 2005 Wimbledon final, one of the best matches this century.
What was it?
Between her
Five?
and-
5 Wimbledon titles, is it?
Yeah, the match between her and Lindsay Davenport, 2005 Wimbledon. That was pretty epic. Save championship point.
If you could change the result of one match in Venus's Williams career, which one would it be?
2017 US Open
Oh,
semifinal.
very
Semifinal against
very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
semifinal against Stone Stephens.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Of course, I remember that match very well. I mean, Sloane was just defending like a mad woman, I guess.
Because I think maybe then she wins.
Yeah, I mean, Keys in the final.
And Keys was carrying an injury as well.
Yeah, not exactly a threat there. So probably.
So
I was thinking more like conservatively towards the line of one of the finals from the very same year, but that's actually pretty good. Yeah.
because I
just
don't think
thinking
in any of the
Australia.
finals, I don't think she was that close in the other finals. And
Oh
like,
no, she wasn't. Yeah, it was like 7-5, 6-love against Garbine.
yeah, like I don't think she was beating Serena in that final, and I don't think she was. Yeah, then Muguruza. I mean, you could say okay, maybe she should have won the first set, but I don't know.
Yeah, but like in terms of this question, I guess we do kind of have unlimited power. So
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
probably
This one,
check.
I think I'd go with the U.S. Open then because
Yeah,
to me
I'd
that's
probably go Australia. I don't know. I would have loved to see it at that point. It
yeah.
just felt like she well, obviously Serena, what we know later, that well, first of all, she was pregnant at the time, and that she
Yeah,
doesn't get another title, which at that point, would have been like, what? Serena doesn't win another title from there, another slam. So maybe considering what we know, not necessarily, but at the time, it just felt like Venus has so much more to gain in that final. considering how long she hadn't won a slam. I think maybe since 2009 Wimbledon, and also the fact that she never won Australia. No,
Yeah.
sorry, she didn't.
Oh, and then also one of those other stats, like she never
Yeah,
gets
she,
that
did,
50.
she didn't win Australia, right? She didn't win Australia.
She never won it. No, yeah, she
Yeah.
never won Australia. So that would have
I
been.
got confused for a second, but yeah, she won the US Open twice and Wimbledon 5 times.
Yeah. Her career is similar to John McEnroe in that sense. They both never won Roland Garros or in Australia.
Yeah,
Both
Johnny
first
Mac,
set.
at least, he barely played Australia, so he has an
Yeah,
excuse.
and obviously the 1984 match against Lendl is the one
That's
that's
by the way a match I would totally change the score of, and if I could.
Me too.
One of the few matches from the 80s I've watched like full, and yeah, I was like, I knew what the score was when I was watching it, but I was still like, rooting for Johnny Mac. I mean, just him getting that title on clay, and of course not getting the win streak broken, would have been like really historic if he got that done. What would what would have been his record for the year if he gets that one? We can only guess, but
83 and 2 instead of 82 and 3.
well, would have gotten different seedings, different stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, maybe not, because he was probably number one anyway for the rest of the season, right? So maybe
Yeah.
in this very case, because he was already number one, I think. Yeah, he was number one at the French. So maybe in this very case, we can actually kind of like know that the draws would have been the same. But of course, the like mentality would have been different. Still, I mean, he crashed Connors in the Wimbledon final, so I guess no reason to think that he wouldn't have done that at least.
Mm.
Well, Comesana has to be pretty careful here at 2-all. He's definitely like going all out this set in terms of trying a variety of different options to win points. Not sure it's working out exactly as planned. The forehand is still spraying a bit. 25 unforced errors to Müller's 14. I think in the first set alone, Comesana had 12 forehand unforced errors.
Yeah. And of course, this one at the 15 could be pretty costly.
Yeah, just trying to get a spinny, loopy ball into the Müller backhand. Doesn't get it done.
Oh, wow. Do you have what is the best rally you've seen in your time watching tennis? That is such a difficult question. That's really tough.
Yeah, I wonder what the contenders are. There's a few Djokovic Nadal from the US Open finals.
Federer Nadal at 4-3 deuce. The point that gets thrown on Twitter over and over again every other day.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it has a lot of importance, but I don't think it's quite as good as maybe some people like make it out to be. Like, it was an iconic match. It was an iconic moment, and that maybe sometimes gets even like a bit more. Yeah. This is a sick answer, but last year there was this challenger qualifying point between Gustav Elias and Leonard. I don't remember how his name even is, the Ukrainian guy, Shuzgeni or something like that. Anyway, that was I just remember it was like, I didn't see it at the time. I wasn't watching the match, but then someone sent it to me at the end of the week, or rather told me where to find it, which point and which match. And I just remember, thinking, oh yeah, it's probably going to be a nice shot or something. Maybe I'll post it on Twitter. But I just remember being completely stunned by the things that happened there, like 3 ridiculous shots, like back to the net, tweeners, lobs, whatever you want, really.
Yeah. For me, the one that comes to my mind right away is that point in the next gen finals in 2021 between Alcaraz and Nakashima.
Yeah, I know you love that one. It's good, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a point from Federer del Potro, the US Open final, which ends with a forehand pass from Roger, which is like pretty insane too.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't remember which set it is, but like he's just sprinting around the court, five different
Second set, I
times
think.
from corner to
Yeah,
corner.
yeah. Second set. I think 3 all in the second set. I don't know which one
Possibly, yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah. Of course, in the match before, he hits that tweener passing shot against Djokovic.
Yeah,
He's
but
in
it's
the
not like a
fight.
particularly impressive rally.
Yeah.
One of the best return games of all time, for sure. Considering that winner is to set up a match point, and the match point is a forehand return winner. I think there's a double fault from Djokovic there, though, so that kind of takes it down a bit. Yeah, it's a very tough question, obviously. Probably there's some better answers that maybe we're not coming up with quite yet. Definitely, like when I'm starting to think about this, I get way too many points in my head that are just like great shots rather than rallies.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I think I know what the answer is for me. Federer Hewitt, Indian Wells. That's the one where
Oh, that point.
Leighton wins it
But
eventually.
he
Yeah.
actually doesn't win the point, Federer. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. He like gets to that whatever it was, volley, I think, or a drop shot at the end, and then Leighton just barely gets it on the stretch. But it's like 45 shots, I think, and that might actually be the most insane point I've ever seen. It's like 2005 or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, Leighton winning that one in like 45 shots. I think that might be my like favorite or best or whatever.
There's a lot of them actually for Federer because I remember after he retired, Raz Olds on YouTube, he put this like 1,000 best shots of his whole career. And that's
that
a really
wasn't
good
even
video.
that wasn't even after he retired. The first version of this video was when Roger was still playing, and
But
he
then he
did
updated
see it and responded to it. Yeah, he updated it a few times. Plus, of course, there were also some copyright issues and. But the first version was definitely when Roger was still playing, and I remember he responded to that.
Right.
It was obviously a fantastic effort, the whole video. I can't say I watched it in full, but I'm sure I skipped was like clicking through it a few times. But yeah, I don't think I watched it in full. Have never seen anything like it made for any other player, I guess.
These passing shots from Müller this match, especially when the ball is coming at him pretty quickly, just seems to like guide the backhand, take it pretty early.
Yeah, he's been insane on these backhands taken early from like any position. It's any shot in the book really from that backhand today. Well, not any shot in the book, but like any shot that you can possibly imagine him like taking early off the backhand, he's already done it today. Well, I mean, I do have to say one thing. At the beginning of the season, when Alexandre Müller when he won Hong Kong, he was definitely like a shortlist candidate for some of the worst ATP players who won main tour titles in the last few years. Well, he's probably escaping that group right now.
Yeah, I mean, like he's just this isn't the Müller that I remember at all. Like he's.
Oh yeah, for sure not. Like you can't possibly put him next to Mirza Basic or Juan Manuel Cerúndolo right now. I mean,
No.
It's just not the same kind of random winners. In fact, well, maybe he's just not a random winner at all.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just like peaking now. It's his. How old is he even? Is he like 28 something?
28.
27?
I don't know. I'm just guessing, but like 27, 28. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he turned 28 on February 1st. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so mm. Before Buenos Aires, you lost to Alves 6-4, 6-4.
Yeah, yeah. It was a funny match because Merigani Alves had 3 breakpoints, I think, and converted 2 of them, whereas Miller had
Oh,
9 and converted none.
oh, okay, that explains it.
But it was his first match since coming over uh, from where actually, from Europe or from, I don't know, first match on clay anyway. So that was also kind of.
Yeah, he lost to Borges in the first round of the Australian Open.
Yeah. I remember that. Was one of the toughest matches to call probably in the whole draw. I remember only going Nuno because I was like, yeah, I mean, he had an Australian Open run last year. Why not? But there was literally like zero other indication for me. He is making some pretty narrow errors at the moment. Again, just like playing very aggressively. But maybe Comesana is up to something here.
Yeah, just going for the lines a bit this last couple of points.
Yeah, it was same thing at 40-30. Now this line he didn't find down the line of the forehand. And Comesana will get a break point. Where would Müller be ranked if he won this title? He's already going to be top 50, actually. Yeah.
32.
Okay, so wow, so we might see him seeded at slams.
Well, I mean, there's still a long way to go, right? Until the French.
I know, but like that is pretty insane.
Yeah, it's
I'm just not sure if he had any big results between this and Roland Garros last year.
We'll have a bye at Indian Wells. Oh my goodness. If we still
Yeah, because
start with
the draw is gonna be made based on next week's rankings. Yeah.
So that actually is huge if he wins this. He won't even have to play a first round in the Masters.
Yeah. Last year, 2024, Alexandre Müller. Oh, he had a 4th round in Rome. I forgot about that. But indeed, he beat Fils just like he always does.
Oh, he loves
Rublev.
playing Fils. He loves that match.
Yep. It's like 3-1 maybe now. No, just 2-0. Okay, I thought they played more.
Twice.
But yeah, Hong Kong of course, and yeah. What challengers am I prioritizing to watch next week? Well, next week they are going to be in different time zones, right? So like San Diego is going to be, of course, late. So I'll see how much of it I will be able to see before going to bed, I guess, every day. I mean, India, yeah, I'm not really prioritizing Bangalore. It's not the most exciting event. There's just like a few select players I want to see. Obviously, another wildcard appearance from Damne. Would love a run from Vashroy if he can kind of get some of the magic back from last year. Billy Harris might be a big story if he keeps going and tries to break the top 100. I think he only has to make the final. Kopshiva as well in a good position to make the top 100 if he has a run. So I guess there are a few players there that I will be focusing on rather than actually just the whole event. And yeah, Lugano is pretty nice, and Kigali again, maybe just select players, but it's obviously a pretty fun event. much better draw than in Brazzaville in Congo this week. Anyway,
But yeah, just
break
double
point.
fault here at Deuce, and
Yeah,
I don't know what happened the point before. Was it like it just?
I don't know. I started talking about something and I lost my focus completely.
Oh, but okay, no, that serve was out. But yeah, I
Your
feel like he'll
newfound
regret this game.
appreciation.
I feel like this game is one he'll regret as he gets broken here.
Yeah, and he does pretty ballsy return from Comesana. Didn't do all that much in terms of pushing Müller away, but the
Yeah, it was kind of
backhand
just Muller playing insane or Muller playing spring.
yeah,
But you
this
know,
game was
two
definitely a
good
bit
second
low.
serve returns from Comesana on the forehand. One at 40-30 and then one at the break point.
That was back-to-back double faults, by the way.
Yeah. Oh.
Both ties trying to find the corner down the tee.
Yeah.
One time with a flatter
I mean,
serve, and
let's
the
be
other was a
honest.
was a
Comesana
kick.
hasn't done a very good job on his own serve so far. So
Yeah, I mean, no guarantee, but 5-2 would feel like a pretty big
5-2
lead.
will be pretty big. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of a chance missed to not hold. But okay, we'll see. Maybe he also started thinking that I'll be 32 in the world if I win this title.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, honestly, before this event, I don't think Alexandre Müller ever considered that he was potentially going to be the winner. So I don't know. Maybe he's checking the the rankings from time to time, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I saw he's been tweeting stuff this week, Alexander Muller, and now I might actually have
Yeah,
to follow him because
he's relatively active on Twitter for sure.
yeah. Like, what was it the other day? He complained about having to do the doping test so quickly after a match or something. Oh, and then after his round of 16 win, he wrote "watch more doubles" in the camera.
Okay, well, pretty cool. I don't know why, but I guess because there was that long big discussion.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he wrote that, but
Yeah, that's interesting too.
he's definitely an interesting guy. He has an OnlyFans sponsorship.
Ah, right, yeah. I think we can, with full confidence, say that he's the first tennis player under their wings. Obviously, that doesn't mean that he's like actually posting there, but
And just like that, he'll have 2 points, 2 break points. Good serve out wide. If you Google Alexander Muller Twitter, the first name that comes up isn't even a tennis player.
yeah, he's got like Alex Tumumu, something like that is his handle, I think.
Oh, that's why. Jesus,
Uh,
more people need to follow this guy. Only 3,000 followers. Come on, guys.
Comesania is followed by like 2.5, I think. I checked the other day because he follows me and he showed up on my Twitter for some reason. But
Oh,
it's like 2.5K or something like that. Yeah, I was also like thinking, how many of them did he get after the Zverev win? You know.
yeah.
Well, by the way, here's the break. So your doubts about Comesania getting this lead to the end of the set, yeah, they were very much right. But yeah, looks like both players are not exactly Twitter stars.
Mm.
I
Oh my
doubt
goodness! The
Ugo
first comment
Carabelli
that
has
comes
a
up.
Twitter.
The first comment that comes up after the doping test. A surprise, surprise. I think Alexander Müller was also the player that was he was battling like ulcerative colitis for a long time, and then he like opened up about it before he played
What
Djokovic
was
at the
the
US Open
what was the
2023.
thing again?
He has like inflammation in his colon,
Okay.
so it's like
Oh,
a autoimmune. It's an
oh,
autoimmune disorder.
sounds horrible. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, I wouldn't have remembered what the disease was, but yeah, there was something for sure. The long lost brother of Gilles
Actually,
Müller.
it's Crohn's disease. Yeah, which he was
Crohn's disease.
diagnosed with at 14, which is basically a chronic inflammatory bowel disease. Well, that's pretty big actually. And he began 2023 at 160 in the world. I don't know what he was at the start of this year, but he was definitely a top 100 player, right?
Oh yeah, it was like 80s. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds right. So he'll have gone from that to potentially 32 if he wins this title. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, seeded for like a slam, Alexandre Miller, that will be really something that I've already said that like nobody was expecting him to be where he is right now, but that would be insane.
Yeah, also
I'm
in
not
that Hong
saying he
Kong
can't play like this right now, but like, yeah.
in that Hong Kong run, he also beat the January to March specialist
Yeah.
Mirror Kecmanovic after saving up his match points.
And then Miomir Kecmanovic won Delray Beach, both singles and doubles after saving match points.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's honestly a really good run. He beats Usler, Kecmanovic, Feast, Munar, and Nishikori. It's actually like a pretty good route to the title.
And here he's got Cerundolo, Fonseca, who
Fonseca,
was the second
Echeverry.
round opponent. Oh, Echeverry,
Yeah.
yeah. Ooh, right. I mean, okay, so he can beat Baez, Cerundolo, Echeverry, so the best three
And
Argentinians,
Fonseca. Holy crap.
Fonseca, and then Comesana, who's, well, I mean, like the number
Yeah.
5 Argentinian or something like that. I don't know. No, that's not true. But anyway, he's somewhere up there. Or actually, right now, he might be the number 5 Argentinian, I guess, in the live rankings. Unless I'm forgetting about something, someone else, but Mariano Navone.
Oh, no, yeah.
Echeverry, Navone, and Comesana. Yeah, now he is the number 5. Wow, I mean, all of these Argentinians, by the way. I mean, Ugo Carabelli, 69 in the rankings. Comesana, 67 if he loses today. Of course, if he wins, he would go much higher. What an event for them. Then you actually have to go down a bit to find Juan Manuel Cerundolo. And that's like far outside pretty far outside the 100, like 100 points. But yeah, top 6 Argentinians, very high right now.
Oh, this is a really good point from Comesana though at 30 all.
I don't know if I want it, considering it's getting pretty late, but I mean, this match kind of feels like it shouldn't end in 2 sets.
Mm-hmm.
It's a disservice to the golden swing if it does. I mean, Comesana should know it best. He spent 3 hours and 24 minutes on the court against Haide, 3 hours and 13, I think, against Zverev, over 9 hours in the first 3 matches this week. So
How long was this Zverev match again?
it actually wasn't that long. It was like
Yeah, that's what I felt like. It wasn't that.
2:31, I
Okay.
think.
No. Okay, 3 points. Nice for Müller. I really thought he'd pay the price more for losing his serve at 2-3. But I had doubts, of course, about Müller being able to consolidate. And now it's just going to be a very tricky service game for him.
So many Müllers on the tour in different countries. Alexander Müller, Gilles Müller, Elmer Müller, Marvin Müller. Obviously, there's also the mullet, JJ Wolf. That's not exactly right, though. That's probably where my Müller knowledge ends. Just 4 of them, but still pretty wild.
By the way, why isn't JJ Wolf playing San Diego?
JJ Wolf, what is he doing? Didn't he get injured in one of his last matches?
Oh,
Let me check. I'm not sure.
so
I mean, I definitely remember him. There was something there about him.
oh yeah, he did have in Delray Beach. He had a retirement
yeah.
against Tristan Boyer.
Yeah, so I think that's why he's not. Otherwise, he probably would have been there. To be honest, there was already a moment when he was looking so much better than last few years, Cleveland especially. So last few
Right.
years. I mean, I guess last season only.
Yeah, he lost to Colton in the semis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, JJ was on the list for San Diego qualifying, and
Our friend Alex Bencia will be really tuned in the next week with Spizziri and also Colton. I'm not sure if Kovacevic is not
no,
playing.
Kova is top 100 now, so I think he's playing Acapulco again.
Yeah.
The qualifying in Acapulco.
Look at this point here at 30 love with Comesana just tripping over the net cord and then falling over. It was like this insane point right here.
Yeah.
Just reaches over the net.
The Müller the Müller stop volley, getting that backspin on it, and Comesana can't quite reach it, doing a Hubert Hurkacz on the net.
We had another player do this at a tournament recently.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but definitely.
I'm blanking, but it happened pretty recently. Like
Hurkacz is the one that came to mind, but there was a more recent example for sure. Opelka? No. I feel like if Opelka crashed into the net, he would just totally destroy it. So probably not.
Maybe Michael Moe? No.
I don't know.
But yeah, it was last week. I think it was in Delray.
No, maybe I'm thinking of even another tournament then. Well, in any case, the 30-15, or rather the 30
Yeah.
love point here doesn't seem to be
Oh,
giving
finally,
any.
Müller. Yeah, on the backhand, he actually misses in the net.
First backhand missed by Alexander Müller since breaking the top 100. I once had a relatively weird interview with Alexander Müller. Basically, I asked him something like, I don't know, you're in the semifinals now or whatever. Like, I didn't say or whatever, but you're in the semifinals now. Like, do you think you're playing your best tennis of the season? And he said, well, I'm in the semifinals, so yes. I kind of just took it very literally, that like if he's in this round, then he's playing his best tennis of the season. And I mean, sure, go for it. But I remember actually trashing the interview. I didn't think it was worth including.
What tournament was that?
Poznań, 2021, I think.
Mhm.
It was my first like relatively awkward experience with a tennis player, I think.
That
You
is
know,
very
he,
awkward. Yeah.
he wasn't unpleasant, but yeah, he just kind of took the questions very literally, and I'd say in a way he was even a little, disapproving of them. Like he kind of like, I don't know, was trying to find something that wasn't okay with them or something like that. I don't know. Maybe he's just a guy who is a bit weird. Maybe it was like the language barrier or something. I think someone said to me later that like he is generally a little, well, I don't know, just maybe quiet and then doesn't really talk to people that well. But maybe that has also changed. I don't know. Don't want to like just, well, it definitely wasn't the Thiago Seyboth case where we ended on pretty unpleasant notes.
He could be quite unpleasant, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I'm good with Mr. Alexander Miller. I'm not gonna say that
I
he's
feel
an
like Thiago
asshole.
gets into many arguments with players in the locker room and
Oh,
on the court.
probably. Yeah. I mean, even on the court, right? The one in
The
Rio
handshakes haven't been
against
very good.
Davidovich Fokina. That's the
Oof.
longest match in tournament history.
What year was that? Was that
2020, I think,
20?
I think it's just before the Santiago. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely 20. The two longest matches in Rio history were actually both 2020. The other you are very familiar with.
Carras. Ramos
Mm-hmm.
Finless.
Mm-hmm. That's a match that like I have so many memories from. I feel like it was yesterday. Probably helped that I was watching it in Marseille. So, it wasn't like the usual setting where I watch tennis. So it's maybe also memorable from this perspective. But yeah, I just remember coming back from the venue, putting on the match, and the whole story that day was Carlos Alcaraz, and it was super cool.
Yeah.
And then Federico Coria came in and kind of just like killed the mood for everybody, just like he was trying to do to Joao Fonseca in Buenos Aires. But yeah, that same year, Thiago Seyboth beat Alejandro Davidovich Fokina in 3 hours, 50 minutes. Some big drama in that match. Underarm serving and yeah, and etc. And then, of course, he won Santiago just the week later, 2 weeks later. I don't remember what the schedule was exactly at the time, but I think it was just a week later.
The last week of professional tennis before the COVID hiatus.
So Indian Wells never got going, obviously, and that was the last week. Okay. I remember what the last challengers were, but I didn't remember what the last ATP tour events were.
And then you had Djokovic winning in Dubai against Monfils and Tsitsipas. Monfils, that famous match where he had match
Yeah,
points.
out of the 20, definitely the closest.
And then you had Taylor Fritz getting to the final in Acapulco for losing to Rafa.
And I think the week after there were two challengers, and they actually started but weren't finished. Potchefstroom and Nur
They never
Sultan.
finished
No,
ever.
no, they didn't finish them. No, they
Oh,
just left. Nenad Zimonjic was playing singles that week, and I think just the universe couldn't take it.
yeah. Do you
And he
remember there was
wasn't
one of those
playing because he
was
lost.
those one of those warm up tournaments at the start of 2021, and it was of WTA 500, and it was like Andy was in the final,
Mm-hmm.
Andy and someone else, and they never played the final.
Yeah, I know. Kontaveit? No,
Yeah. I think you're right.
Kontaveit.
I think it was
Kontaveit,
Conte.
yeah.
And
There was also a challenger that they never played the final at. That was Bergamo, I think, February 2020. And it was Marchenko against Seng, but they didn't play the final. They just canceled the final. All right. I mean, we've kind of been chatting about everything and then not much about the match. But well, we are at 5-volt. That break that Vansh was mentioning earlier certainly didn't do much damage to Müller. And well, I mean, from here, every point matters. As we know, in the opening set, it was Müller who won the important ones, and kind of wild that he took that set 7-5, considering all the chances Comesana had to get the sixth game. But yeah, now he has another opportunity to to get himself that tiebreak that he desperately wanted and didn't get in the opener. It certainly has kind of like evened out, I think, in terms of the aggression as well. Comesana is now seven volleying a bit, and I don't know, just feels like yeah, we're more or less just on level terms now. The crazy peaking from Müller has sort of ended.
Yeah, Comesana getting a few more underturn serves this set.
I mean, by this rate, Vansh, we might soon get the San Diego draw while the stream is on. If the third set is there, maybe.
Oh, just misses that inside in forehand. So this next service game will be starting to stay in the set. And as Yannick Sir likes to say, everything can happen now. And that's kind of what I feel about this match, actually.
Yeah, I feel
Everything
like
can
in a lot
happen.
of these clay court battles in South America, but not only in South America, it's kind of like that. Like there's just so many different ways to lose a point. You don't have like that one or two major weapons that you know are gonna be there, and like you know that's I don't know every single game they're gonna bring you a point or two. Every single thing can just it has to be fought for, and then yeah, you can lose the rally in 20 different ways simply because it's longer and it's like yeah, there's all the options you can potentially employ. Well, Alexander Müller will have to showcase some of these options now. After almost an hour in the second set, he is serving to stay in it. Not a position he was ever in the opening set, but I mean, he did break from love 40 in order not to be in a position like this.
I don't think any top players ever come into Rio and just like dominated the whole thing. Has
Not
that ever
really.
happened?
I
I
mean,
feel like it
Carlos,
hasn't.
when he won it, sort of did. I mean, what
Mm,
was it? Munar was the only set he lost? I don't know.
and Berrettini.
Okay, yeah. Then okay. Maybe not. Maybe he can't count. We can't count him. Maybe.
Like Nadal had to save match points.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
These matches were like pretty hard fought.
I think so. So yeah, I don't really see it. I guess we could check what the Schwartzman title was, but then again, in 2018, was he already a top player?
I know the final against Verdasco was pretty easy, but
Yeah, I just don't know if I would count him as a top player by 2018. He
yeah,
probably wasn't like coming in with that sort of street
no,
credit at the time.
he was like the 6th seed. So,
Yeah, that
but
doesn't count.
actually,
A year or
but
two later,
but
sure.
like yeah, he did have a pretty dominant run. Like he beat Still Bonus, Monfils, Jari, and Verdasco without dropping a set.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that might be the closest, but again, it just doesn't count as
Yeah.
a top player at the time.
Who was in the? Oh, that was the year that Church played the Golden Swing after the Australian Open final, and then
Yeah, there
Monfils
was.
just got a yeah. Monfils took him out. Oh, you know what's another match that I wish Church would have won?
Uh-huh.
That match against Guido Pea, second round of Wimbledon,
Yeah.
2018.
By the
I
way,
still can't believe he lost
Dominic Thiem in 2017, he didn't drop a set.
that. And he beats who does he beat in the final? Cuevas, maybe?
I'll tell you in a moment.
Or Guido Pia, maybe? No, I think
David
Cuevas.
Ferrer also in 2015, he dropped just one set to Monaco.
Okay.
Pretty dominant run. I remember watching that Heider Maurer semifinal, like late at night at home. Anyway, 6-all. What you were talking about? Cilic. Yeah, Guido. That was just a crazy run for sure. But I mean, if you're not beating him, then well, let's kick things off. We finally get that breaker that we were almost in during the opening set. And of course, Alexandre Müller so close to his first ATP 500 final. Just twice so far he's made it that far on the ATP Tour. One in Hong Kong in January, and also 2023. There was that Marrakesh final he made, losing to Roberto Carballes Baena. Comesana, of course, as I said 2 hours ago at the beginning of the stream, just 4 2-level wins before this week. But all of them were at the slams last year, so for him, it's definitely a new opportunity.
Because Comesana goes for that backhand drop shot cross court, but Muller is pretty quick to get there. In fact, very quick. He almost overruns this, and then he sprays the backhand wide on the approach.
Yeah, he paid the price for reading it too well.
Yes. He didn't like stop. He kind of just ran through the shot. He didn't stop his feet in time.
If Comesana wins another 3-hour match today, he's gonna be dead tomorrow, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then the top player, Sebastian Baez, will just win the title.
Yeah. Well, you got one of those loopy cross court forehands wide now from Muller.
Well, last year it was Mariano Navone who made the final in Rio. Would be kind of fitting if this time it was Francisco Comesana. They do have that incredible rivalry. Met in 3 challenger finals. 2022 Buenos Aires, 2022 Corrientes, and 2023 Santa Cruz. Yes, I did just say that off the top of my head, but that's, well, kind of excused considering I was checking something of their rivalry yesterday, well, couple of days ago.
Well, this has not been a great start to the tiebreak for Muller.
Yeah, the 2 shanked forehands, the drop shot he was too quick on. Things are not looking that bright right now.
Just a double mini break. He might still be the stronger player physically in the third set. We'll see. I mean, Comesana will have all the momentum, and the adrenaline might just ride him home. But clearly, this match is gonna be long.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid that Comesana is just gonna win this, and then the final will be just as disgusting as last year. Like it was like 6-2, 6-1. No, Navone had 0 power left. That's finally Comesana finds like a way of making the drop shots unpredictable again.
And this time he goes down the line, and then he actually covers the volley, and he made greater distance that Müller had to run to get there, and then can't really do much when he gets there. Except for maybe a redrop.
First I was gonna say I was gonna praise him for covering it well, but actually no, that's still on like how he played the dropper and simply Müller being surprised by one for the first time in 20.
Oh, but the next ball he sprays, so he does get one mini break back.
Yeah, a little bit careless maybe for love. I mean, but we'll see.
See if Müller can get some first serve going here. There he goes for that kicker out wide. Now they're in a baseline rally, and this time, Comesana overcooks the forehand. Like goes after it, accelerates.
Jake wants me to die. He wants to have 3 sets and a longer stream. I mean, I kind of want the 3 sets too, but I also know that I am very tired and I will have to write something up as well after we finish. But, it's not going to be long. It's like 20 minutes. I would not sub to Alexandre Müller's OnlyFans account, Ozan, no. Not planning to do that.
Thoughts on Müller versus Tiafoe? Wow. Well, if Müller gets to the final here, or goes all the way to the title, I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think
Tiafoe isn't winning. If Tiafoe doesn't win that match,
depending on how he does here, he might not play Acapulco. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, clearly yes, Keen, but probably like 2 years ago, I would have been there with you. That Grenier is probably the better player. So, and yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I don't disagree with you on Zakaria, but I think Zachary was like a little off in that one, considering he just came from indoor conditions.
Okay. This is getting interesting. Another missed forehand, unforced error by Comesana. So that's like 3 kind of very loose points, right?
Yeah, 3 in a row. I'm not gonna give you any thoughts on the doubles final, Ozan. Sorry, I just haven't been watching it. Only doubles event I was following this week. Actually, I watched some Pau, Schneider-Wallner winning the title was fun, but only events I was following in doubles this week was Dubai. So I really don't know what Martinez and Müller can do in doubles. Wow, I mean, this almost was 4 errors in a row. But he finds that corner, and this could be the corner that gives him the.
That was bold, huh? Because it hits basically the back of the line and the corner, and it's.
Yeah, very slim margins. Could have been back to 4-all from love 4, Alexandre Müller. But actually, Comesana finds that forehand winner. Müller couldn't believe it.
Oh, okay, that's a very strong +1.
By this point, both players are kind of like bottling it from time to time. Müller, especially in this breaker, but Comesana also had that streak of 3 errors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess now, they both kind of had a streak of 3.
But set points.
4 points. But then now Comesana has managed to keep that 1 break lead, and Müller misses the +1 forehand and kind of a tipsy-topsy second set.
Just one more point won by Comesana in the set, but yet he is the winner
of it. The distance, to be honest, because it's just that kind of a messy match. But Well, we'll see. It's going to be a really big moment for one of these two. 2 hours, 10 minutes in.
Let's see. Jake, in terms of Max Hans Reberg, very interesting player because I think he's either very good in like super slow conditions or in very fast ones. So fast ones, his breakthrough run was Ismaning on carpet, and like he plays super flat. So he actually had weapons there, and he also had a big serve, which usually he doesn't. Usually it's just decent. But I think in most conditions, when it's not something like this, I believe that he is more of a scrambler. Like he's just a good grinder, fantastic defender, never really gives up. Like when he has the ball inside. But yeah, mostly he's just kind of very I don't know. It's just tough to really like hit through him and tough to actually get him to miss or I don't know hit a winner against. He just really like makes you work hard for the match. But again, yeah, I think it depends on the conditions mostly. But he's like a flat hitting defender more or less. No, maybe counter puncher is a better word. It's a fun, pretty decent game. We'll never make it big, but sometimes I think that people do underestimate him. I think when I was watching him in Koblenz last year with Alex, you obviously probably know him from Twitter. He was we were just like talking about Rebek a bit, and I was saying like he's ranking 600, like that's a joke, and he wasn't really on board with this. He had some negative feelings towards Max, mostly based on the fact that he was getting a lot of these German wildcards, and Alex didn't think that it was that it was deserved. I don't know if you noticed it, but he also has this very fun tick with his right leg before the service motion. If you didn't see it, definitely worth checking out. Jake, and I think live it's easy to catch it live. Apparently he was like it was supposed to give him a bit more balance in his serve, just to make him remember to like about the specific motions and how he has to like shift his balance with the body. But of course right now it's just kind of more of a feeling, something that he is doing, and like it doesn't serve a specific purpose anymore. He is from Munich, from Munich, so he gets a lot of wildcards at that event.
So it looks like Comesana spent 9 hours on court so far before this match even started. This match is already 2 hours and 11 hours and 10 minutes on court.
Yeah, matches. He's likely gonna be on 12 hours by the time this ends.
And of course, don't forget he saved a match point against Nicholas Jarry in the third set tiebreak. Did Comesana. I think it was just like a backhand or a backhand return missed by Jarry, right?
Yeah, I forgot already, to be honest, but I think so. I should probably have.
I think it was like a second serve, kick serve, and Jarry missed the backhand.
Yeah. Sounds realistic.
Nicholas Jarry is another one. I mean, do you think he's? I mean, obviously he drew Sinner in the first round of the Australian Open, so not much he could do there. But since pretty disappointing for him, Buenos Aires and Rio, right?
Well, he'll never be consistent, will he?
He made 79 on 4 stars against Diego Schwartzman. Buenos Aires, and he just hated that occasion so much.
Yeah, I mean, we can't expect him to be consistent ever, not with this play style. So,
kind of reminded me of Alexi Popyrin against Andy Murray and Queen. So I just, I think both these scenarios were pretty uncomfortable.
That's a deep cut.
But forever, Popyrin. Maybe Jarry needs to beat Djokovic this year and then redeem himself. It's like Popyrin did. But yeah, Jarry's never going to be consistent.
Yeah, Jarry netted a backhand return. Yeah, you're right. on the match point against
Yes,
Comesana.
it's been a tough stretch for Jari since the Rome final.
I think he's peaked.
But he can
It's
get
still a
back
good
there.
story for him
He
to
can,
come back after the doping suspension.
yeah, probably he's peak, but I think he can get back to a similar-ish level still.
Yeah, I mean, he can have a good tournament anytime, really. I don't think form
Yeah.
matters a great deal.
So he's defending a quarterfinal in Miami and then final in Rome, but lots to
Yeah,
gain in the other places.
he's not been a top
Oh, and then
50 player.
after Rome, he's gonna be just we're free points. I think he only won 2 more matches the rest of the year. So
Okay, to your guys' questions. Ozan Emery is clearly the better player. I mean, Blancano is just like throws in the slice and tries to like get you to miss. But obviously Calvin is 1-9 in Challenger finals, lost the last 8 in a row. So I can't tell you with much confidence that he's gonna get it done this time. Am I excited for Kigali? Not all that much. I'd love for Michalski to qualify. I think he's playing very well this year. Like the whole story with him to kind of saying that this is the biggest season of his career, and I do like that. But yeah, and Karianda Punacha. I mean, he's still doing pretty well in doubles now. So I think he's fine. He's just not playing singles. I think he's gonna be playing singles for the first time in Bangalore, right? So yeah, I just think he's focusing on doubles and doing okay. Not sure if he's like in the top 100 now, but probably close. Beat Sumit Naga last year, right? Yeah, I think he did. Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Alexandre Müller serving first. So what is it gonna be? Physical fatigue or momentum? Which wins here? In terms of the nerves, I don't know. After the ending of the second set, I kind of trust Comesana more.
I do too. I think he may have found a second wind towards the end there, and he looks okay pretty physically. Like already Muller is testing the legs first point of the of the set, and he got up to that drop shot pretty quick. And then look at this high jumping smash. So,
Yeah, I
let's
think
see
that
a physical
Comesana,
diff,
of course, had that streak of errors in the second set breaker, but also just like Miller was the player who like dropped off even more when that
Yes.
pressure of the breaker was there. So some of the errors just got even more sloppy. That even the set point, like you could see from 3-6 he didn't really have what it takes at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, four unforced errors, one shot that he overran in 10 points played. So that's definitely not going to do it. But it would be big for him to hold the serve here.
And well, looks like he might do it as Comesana is now the guy who's kind of, a little overeager to finish off the point sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He enters the third set with a lot of momentum, and he kind of just like drove headfirst into a wall in the opening game.
This match might just comes down to who bottles it less.
Yeah, Keen, I agree for 100%. I was hoping for it, but Kubler Jessica doesn't quite have the same ring to it. I also thought I wasn't gonna watch it because it was gonna be so late, but well, now it looks like I might actually still be awake when they start. So I might change my mind. But yeah, obviously I was more excited about the possibility of Chung Kubler too. And Agui, yeah. I also honestly, it's unfair because last year when that Irish girl got a wild card for Dubai, and Agui was in such good form, I remember it was said that they basically swap it every single year, and this time it was time for the girls. And yeah, sure, go ahead. But this year it's also she who got the wild card for Dubai, and not Michael Agvi or even I don't know Conor Gannon or whoever.
Wait, why is Kubler playing a futures? Is
I
he
mean,
ranked
he's
that
ranked.
low?
Yeah, he didn't play from January to November last year.
Oh, that explains it because he had such a good US Open in 2023.
That's Hijikata.
Oh, I got it messed up. But yeah, Kubler, I thought it was pretty good in 2023, wasn't he? He had some big
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah, he might have finished either like in the top 100 or outside the top 100. Yeah, he was just injured again, just like usual, really. Came back with a couple of good ITFs, semis, final. Then had a disappointing loss to Tomic in a challenger, but then the next Brisbane event, he makes the final, beats Skulkite in the opening round, loses to Walton. He's pretty much back with his level, I think. Just stuck around in Australia after the challenger swing and is playing Bernie. And I think next week is Launceston, maybe. Anyway, another 25k in Australia. So I think for now he's just staying there. But the level seems pretty much good. Walton was a bit too good for him, but like that's just he's super solid and that's it. So
Tristan Skulkate, by the way, the last two majors has played pretty well, no?
yeah, but he's
Almost
just got a
beating
couple of
Jakub
tough
Mancic.
losses the last weeks. I mean, okay,
Yeah.
Kubler, hey, Kubler, that's not a horrible loss, but like Sultanov, well, I'm not convinced. And he also lost to who was it that tight match to? Billy Harris, maybe? No, I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, I mean he's kind of disappointed the last few weeks, but obviously getting that match against Sinner and then winning Brisbane, like things were definitely trending in the right direction for a moment there. Oh, 30 all. Oh, yeah. We did say Comesana has a lot of momentum, but he's kind of done well the last few points at like giving it away the last few points and
Oh,
minutes.
that landed very short, that forehand return. I mean, he was way far back behind the baseline, but I didn't think Comesana would not run for it, so 30 all. Second serve here. Oh, and this time this was a good point from Comesana. Sneaking in.
Yeah, pretty awesome volley, considering how tough the ball was. Of course, very close to making that lob, Alexandre Müller.
Yeah. Oh,
I
Ryan
think,
Sederman is playing in Santiago.
well, he's not
Qualifying.
anymore.
Or he was. He lost today.
Yes, to Orlando Luz. He was going to play Facundo Mena originally, but Mena withdrew. And then
Orlando Luz
second
plays doubles, right?
mostly. He's like top 100 in the doubles, 50, 60, but he keeps a ranking of around 300 in singles, 400 maybe now. He's a bit, how do I say it in a way that's pleasant? He's not the fittest tennis player, so his singles game has kind of suffered because of it. But yeah, doubles, he's firmly in the top 100.
Lerner Tien beat
Mm-hmm.
Gomez in the first round of qualifying in Acapulco. You also had Lajovic lose to Popko.
Good old fixer Popko doing well.
How long was
Yeah,
he banned for? Opco, was he banned?
he was not banned. No,
No.
he
Oh.
was out injured for a while. But yeah, I mean he's had some insane, very blatant matches. Not even talking about this, but even the exhibitions during the pandemic. That was just he was playing with Karatsev in that whole series in the States.
Oh, okay.
I think they played each other like 5 or 6 times.
Right.
And, but yeah, on tour he was also doing that.
By the way, Karatsev still out with that injury, or
He is playing something. Which injury do you mean?
am I remembering it right that he got hurt last year?
No, he came back. He won a
In May, June?
challenger. He won a challenger in January. He like destroyed the field in Nonthaburi. But after that, he kind of fell apart again.
Oh yeah, he
And
won Nonthaburi. That's right. Yeah, he did. I forgot
yeah, and
about
he's
that.
playing something this week.
Yeah.
No, he's playing in Greece soon. The Challenger 50s in Greece.
Okay.
But he was actually announced by the tournament of Dubai. Like they said on their website that some players who like formerly won the event will be back this year. They included Karatsev on the list, and then they didn't give him a wild card. So I don't know.
He should get a wild card as a former champion.
Maybe. I mean, Dan Evans got one for whatever reason. Aziz Dugas and Hadi Habib, of course, are at least from the region.
Yeah. Yes, the days of Lloyd Harris and Aslan Karatsev in 2021.
Yeah, that was speaking of like crazy ATP 500 finals. Well, this was a crazy forehand return from Comesana.
Yes.
But he's just very tempted right now to like go big, you know? He's going big right now, for better or worse.
Yes.
Fortunately for him, a lot
He's
of the
pulling
time
the trigger very early, trying to change directions down the line and endpoints as quick as he can because, well, he's probably feeling it physically. And
Yeah,
he doesn't want to show it.
maybe he's just not feeling right physically. Yeah, maybe he knows that his time is kind of like limited, and
Yeah. And sometimes he can pull it off because his acceleration on the forehand is pretty good.
it is. Yeah,
He's got like that, easy power. Actually, it's not that different from Andrei Rublev. When he's
well,
like fully set and he's got like that.
strong opinion, but sure.
Yeah, but he has to be like in very good position. Otherwise, no, it doesn't hold up.
Yeah, as I said earlier, that was definitely something that surprised me watching him live, like how dynamic he is on the offense. His worst moments were actually when he didn't have that, like when he didn't have the confidence to go after it.
Because like Rublev, he can actually do it when he's rushed as well, which is, he's got like that compact swing as well as acceleration.
Open stance forehand, probably one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
I don't really see who else I would actually nominate. It's probably the best in the game.
Open stance forehand?
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. It's not actually. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess I would have to agree. Can't think of anybody really.
Yeah, I just can't think of any other like top 20, top 10 player who like is pretty famous for it. Steph maybe was once, but I don't know. Everything about his game is just so mid right now. Bautista Agut is pretty good, but I mean, right now he's lost a lot of, lost half a step.
Yeah, Rublev. No, he just has that he has that quick arm, right? So he just it looks like he's arming his forehand a lot, but he's got like that quick wrist snap and.
Yeah, this was somewhat, yeah, Ozan, this was somewhat, I guess, related to the tweets that I put out yesterday when Galarno was trying to do it. I think that court siding is a form of cheating. But should the tournaments care about it? I mean, I think the betting companies should be able to spot it based on their algorithms and like limit the numbers anyway. So I don't like, for example, Galarno pointing this out to the umpire today. I think he just sort of was frustrated and needed to vent at something. I guess. Yeah, I don't think the guy was doing anything wrong to him, especially.
But
Will we get
Bellucci
a
versus Eubanks today in the qualifying in Acapulco.
Well, he's playing Bellucci in very slow conditions. I don't like his chances too much, but maybe somehow.
Chris Eubanks should have played San Diego. He would have been seeded number 1 or 2.
Yeah, probably not one. I don't think he's number 100.
Yeah, 104 actually. I just checked. So number 2.
Okay, that's still higher than I thought. What did he do so that his ranking improved?
Well, he won the challenger against Tian.
But that's late last year, right? Oh yeah, but I guess he did finish pretty close. I mean, there was that whole discussion of like, what if he wins the wildcard challenge but is in the top 100? So yeah, I guess sure. I was just like thinking, this year I don't really recall him doing much, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, Hijikata Kubler, pretty crazy title win. If you remember the final Keen against Nis Zielinski, the poll was just, I don't know if I've ever seen a Grand Slam men's doubles performance like this in the final, where like, you're literally like almost too nervous to play. So, but yeah, I mean, the whole run, of course, was insane. And will we get a big Janvier run this year? If you're talking about one singular challenger final somewhere, yeah, perhaps. But if you're talking about anything, breaking the top 100, well, I think you know the answer. Just somewhat frustrating.
Double fault from Comesana. You can kind of see he's looking a little bit tired and slower.
Yeah, maybe that's why he was really going after the shots. Yeah, my prediction right now. Okay, maybe not after what I just saw, but my prediction right now was going to be that Comesana was going to win and then lose to Baez exactly the same way as Navona last year.
Well, what a get there from Müller, but Comesana plays a good point there. The volley was kind of very, very good because drop volley from that position ends up saving himself. So. Oh, but this time he sort of loses his balance after the serve and inside out backhand return winner by Müller. And it's one of those that he took really early.
Yeah, that was the one that I saw, and I was like, actually, maybe my prediction of Comesana winning this match. Maybe not. That I think that's just pure fatigue, honestly. Like, just like stumbled after the serve.
He's gonna have to hit a second serve, break point down now. and he happens to find a very good one. That was some good kick serve. Because this time Muller was not able to take it early and
Yeah,
make it.
for sure. It sprung up high, and I don't feel like he sacrificed that much pace.
Yeah.
So definitely did fine there. I guess this is just one of these weeks, where the voodoo magic is with Comesana.
Yeah.
You literally can't beat them. Alexandre Müller knows a bit about that, winning that Hong Kong title, all matches from a set down. He
That
made
was
a
their
mistake
first
today, Müller. He didn't drop the opening set. But yeah, big hold there, 3 consecutive unreturned serves for Comesana.
What did you think of the final today between Draper and Rublev?
Barely watched it, to be honest. Wasn't too interested. I mean, at the time there were, Towson, Andreeva.
Yeah, I was more
First of
interested in
all,
the Tossin because they were happening at the same time. I'm focusing mostly on the Tossin and Andreeva.
honestly, I was focusing mostly on the challenger semifinals. I mean, 3 challengers were on at the same time, and basically everything
Yeah.
had a story today. So, but yet, even Towson, Andreeva are more important to me. So yeah, I barely watched Draper Rublev. I just didn't care about the result at all. I mean, I think we said it on the ATP, ATP on Igan Carlos, but basically, I just didn't think who wins makes
Yeah,
a great deal of difference
true.
for me as a neutral viewer, at least. Like, I just didn't care. I don't feel like, well, obviously for Jack it's a little different. For Jack, his career actually would have been accelerated a bit with a title, but because he already
Yeah,
won Vienna, I just didn't think that there was a massive story in there either way.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, if he had won, he would have been what 11 in the world. Instead, he's 12, 2 titles at 500 level versus one. Not a huge thing.
Yeah, and Rublev, obviously, yeah, just kind of maybe the fact that that quirky stat about him not winning at the same venue twice, just like Medvedev, like that's maybe a story. But
Maybe now
uh,
Medvedev will win Dubai, and then they'll have broken the curse.
yeah, they could be done with it. So I was definitely much more excited at the time to see if Emery will make that challenger final again, if there's gonna be the all Norwegian final in Glasgow, and stuff like that. Collignon, if is he going to get that top 100 opportunity? Is the Bucheran finally gonna be stopped? So yeah, I definitely related more to the challenger stories at the time. But yeah, the fact that they were on at the same time, well, as usual, it's just so stupid.
Yeah. I don't know why they couldn't have like at least an hour or two apart. I mean, they do that with Basel and Vienna and other times. Not
Well,
usually.
Basel Vienna is ATP, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just idiotic because I understand that like not everybody will be watching. Most tennis fans won't be watching 5 matches a day like we do, but well, more so 15 like we do. But at the same time, like I just think it's very poor that like no event
Yeah.
ever checks up with any other one. Like it's just all
True.
singular individual events. Whatever suits us best, that's what we do. And the tour could easily enforce it.
Oh yeah, they could
Obviously,
easily
not,
do it.
not to a crazy extent. Like I don't want the Dubai final to be played at 11 p.m. local time, but it's very easy to just set one final for 2 p.m. my time, the other for 4 p.m. my time. I don't want to be, well, I really don't care right now at 2 a.m. for like counting this into local time, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a question to you from Ozan. I guess it's like some sort of sports. I don't know.
What do you mean, Ozan?
You don't see his comments?
Yeah, he's asking if it was a power play between Royals.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
So that's like some sort of Big Four sport, or
No, I don't think it is. I mean, there's Kansas City Royals, but that's baseball. Like that has nothing to do
Oh.
with this. I don't know if he was talking about the Royals, like as in the royalty at Abu Dhabi and royalty at, or I mean, royalty in Doha and Dubai. Is that what he's talking about? I'm not too sure.
I don't
wouldn't
know.
imagine they have much influence in this. though.
I mean, Keen, there's no way that what is his name even? Dran Kodinev making a challenger semifinal is good. Like, sorry, but there should be some sort of like quality control or whatever. Like, yeah.
Is that the Challenger 50 that was like this
Yeah,
week?
in
Or
Brazzaville, and we
okay.
had a main draw by in the which is like unheard of in challengers since it returned to 32 player draws. And obviously, I don't think this event is coming back. And yeah, I mean, sure, we can see more players than we usually would, but it's just not fair. I mean, it's someone is going to, well, actually Calvin Emery and Jeffrey Brancano are in the finals, I guess the top seed and the second seed. So, these guys could legit meet in another challenger final. Yeah, sure. But like, how many matches from the challenger level did we actually see during this whole week? Emery Emer, like that was the only one. I don't know. It's if you want to watch an event like this, watch it as an M25. But it just shouldn't be a challenger. And if this is the case, sure, it can be entertaining. I like seeing new players too. But it's like if you suddenly hosted an ATP 250 in, I don't know, in Australia, a random ATP 250 in Australia in September, and then the top seed is going to be Adam Walton probably, but you know what I mean. I mean, yeah, it's just not right. Just like last year, there was this WTA 250 in whatever it was at the end of the year in Mexico, and Renata
Oh
Zarazova
yeah,
was
I
the
remember
top seed.
that. That didn't make any sense whatsoever.
It just shouldn't happen. Did I like the opportunities for some players that, like, I don't know, Kornieva or well, I guess Khvalinska wasted it, but still, did I sort of like enjoy it as as someone who likes these players? Yeah, sure, but it shouldn't happen.
Yeah, by the way, I just don't like how the WTA does the 250 the same week as the 500. I wish they didn't do it like that.
Well, this week we're going to have a 250 next to two 500s on the ATP tour.
Yeah, but that's like the only week the ATP doesn't. I think that's literally the only week. Actually.
Hamburg.
Hamburg is a 500 now.
Hmm?
Hamburg is a 500, right?
Yes, but it's gonna have a 250 next to it.
Oh, really? I thought it was. Is Leon is it not a 500 now?
No, it's just Hamburg.
Oh, okay. That's like only 1 week though, or 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Hamburg 500. Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, because Geneva. I forgot about that. Yeah, Geneva and Hamburg in the same week. Okay. So there was Barcelona and Munich that are 500s.
Yes, Lyon
And
doesn't exist.
That's after Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
There's also the week of Miami. Like I want to say the second week. There's two 125s this year. There's like a 125 in Mexico, and then there's like the 125 in Napoli, I think.
Naples, yeah. I mean that's not new.
Was there a new one that week this year?
I mean not Naples. Was the Mexico one
I
already
think
like?
Morelia is new.
Yeah, that's new. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
the one.
it doesn't really matter. I mean, the Mexican swing always started there. It just started
Right.
from like Mexico City or San Luis Potosi or something like that. But I mean,
Mm.
yeah, I think Mexico City maybe the last few years, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Naples last year was definitely held. Nardi beat
Yeah.
Herbert in the final.
Yeah, Lyon is no longer on the calendar. Just
I
like
think it used,
Atlanta is no longer on the calendar. Same with Newport.
I think it used to be Sanremo before Naples, the one where Rune won, and then had
Mhm.
to play twice on the same day. No, but that would actually mean that Monte Carlo would be the next week. So no, maybe it was the week before Sanremo. But yeah, Naples definitely was held last year. Yeah, they don't have the 175s in the second week of Miami, but I guess scheduling wise, it just wouldn't make sense. Everybody wants to get to clay court practice more or less.
Yep, the Merida 500 draw is out. Navarro is the number 1 seed, and Bedos is the number 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
We also have
Emirati
Jessica
Royals and
Bidova.
Qatari Royals. Okay.
Oh, okay. Ah,
How are these Acapulco players looking in the draw? Like, is there like a Kovacevic Tien or a Kovacevic Basavaredi showdown? Kovacevic Walton potentially. No, not then. Basavaredi also has a pretty good draw. If he beats Duckworth, then he has Kozlov before the final round probably. Tien against Lajovic, that doesn't sound bad too.
oh,
Berrucci
you have
Eubank against
Matteo
Mialo.
Arnaldi.
That's good.
Matteo Arnaldi versus Zverev in the first round of Acapulco.
Okay. Zverev lost to Jordan Thompson last year, right? In the no, Daniel Altmaier in the opening round. Yeah.
Yes, but I'll tell you another match that you should be very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Jakub Mensik
Ah,
versus
yeah, I
Tomas
know who he's playing.
Maharaj.
Yeah, the Czech number twos,
Yes. Now
like
that
Norway
is a
number
match I
twos
want to
in
watch.
Glasgow.
Of course, I also want to watch Denis Shapovalov against Cameron Norrie. A rematch of
How many more times?
the Queen's semifinal in 2021 and other matches like San Diego.
Oh, wow, San Diego. Okay, well, this crazy match is still going, and they're
It
still on
is,
serve in the
yes.
first set. Interestingly, I think in the second set they were also winning a ton of points in games on serve. Um, was it just like that one exchange of breaks? I guess so.
Yeah, just that one exchange like 4-2, 4-3.
Yeah, 4-2 and 4-3. Yeah. Or rather 3-2 and 4-2, I guess. Never mind. Well, Comesana serving at
And
3-4.
Mr. Daniel Medvedev will not like his draw in Dubai. It's the worst possible draw he could have got.
He got Struff, I know that in the first round. I
Then
don't know.
Giovanni Perry card.
Okay. I
And
remember thinking that
then
would have been competitive in Marseille.
Ugo Humbert in the quarters.
Gomber in the quarters. Yeah, last week's champion and the guy who beat him last year, of course.
Last year in the semis, yeah. I know Daniel was struggling with a shoulder issue, but in general, Humbert has been a bad matchup for him.
Oh, yeah, for a Roland Garros win years back.
Yeah.
Well, Roland Garros or
No, not Roland Garros, but
Hamburg.
yes.
Roland Garros was Fucovic. Yeah.
Cilic versus De Minaur is the first round there.
Yeah.
Monfils Berrettini as well. Evan Sachanov. Oh, that head-to-head is amazing for Evans.
5-0. 5-0 now. Karen, not exactly a fan of players who slice it on, especially at his forehand.
Could also have Tsitsipas versus Dimitrov in the quarters. Tsitsipas plays Sonego, and then the winner of Evans Sachanov.
Honestly, at this stage, I think neither will get to the quarters.
Could be, yeah. You also have, yeah, Dimitrov is with that struggling with that injury at the start of the year.
Ooh. Well, Comesana kind of
Yeah.
getting in trouble here.
See if there's any other. I'm gonna check the challenger draws again. See if San Diego's out.
2 a.m. my time, so -9. That would be
That would be
5
now.
p.m. Yeah, probably not yet. Anyway, Comesana spraying a forehand there to go break points down.
Oof.
He's already had that one tough game this set. Hit 3 unreturned serves from this very position, 30-40. Again, has to come up with something quickly. And, well, I don't want to get too ahead, but he seems to be kind of losing the plot physically, especially right now.
No, this is going to be a rough second serve here. 30-40. Sonego will beat Tsitsipas? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Sonego can definitely beat Tsitsipas right now. Okay. Well, that second serve return is going to do it. He jumps way high out of Müller's strike zone, and he finds good width on it. And he was ready for the kicker. So now Müller will serve for the match.
Yeah, but considering what we've been watching here, almost 3 hours now.
Mm-hmm. We will see. I think there might be another twist if that's what you're implying.
That's what I
But
was.
even if there isn't, how is Müller going to feel tomorrow?
I mean,
Basically,
probably okay. I'm probably better than Comesana,
definitely,
but
because he's
I
he's
still
mentally
am
fit.
like I am all for Baez tomorrow, regardless who wins this. Like I think Baez will claim the title.
I do too, but I think Müller has a better chance of upsetting the apple card.
Yes, especially after today. But even if they were at similar levels of fatigue from throughout the week, I do think Müller is more dangerous to Baez. Yeah. Probably the first time in my life I've said that Alexander Müller is more dangerous.
So if he wins this, Müller, let's see, where does that put him? I know if he wins the title, that puts him up to like 32. But winning this, I assume he'll be in the top 50. At least.
Yeah, he's already in the top 50 even before this
Oh,
match.
he is already. Okay. Yeah, he's 46 right now. So final would get him to
Yes.
not that far, like 41. Then yeah, the title would get him to 32. So
Well. That backhand slice there from Comesana, like you can kind of see that the legs are gone now.
yeah.
He also makes a backhand unforced error for 15-30 here. This one was kind of
Yeah, that slice
more
he didn't get down
regular.
low, right? He sort of just floated it
Yeah.
and that's not what he's been doing the whole match.
No, not at all. I mean, his slice is typically 100 times better than this. There's just no setup anymore.
The Hechka versus Umber. Oh, the Hechka is playing Umber. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I kind of just briefly glanced at it, but while trying to watch this, but yeah, I missed that one. Okay, but regardless, the Hechka or Umber both very dangerous for Daniil.
Yeah, Ohechka beat him last year.
Oh, and what a forehand cross court angle Müller finds to set up 2 match points.
Yeah.
And Comesana is so dead right now on his feet that he can't even run or react to that. I mean, he sort of just watched it go by. I think he may have thought it was out. I mean, it was pretty close, but what an angle.
Yeah, I think regardless of if it was going in or not, Comesana wasn't going to make a run for it. point in time.
He was dead.
But
Like,
certainly a fantastic shot for Müller. One of the best of the match, easily.
yeah, what a point actually. So 2 match points here. And he's going to finish it off by coming forward on this backhand cross court, and he doesn't need to hit a volley because that backhand sails long. And he's into his second ATP final of 2025, and this one is at a 500 level. Wow, what a moment. It's now going to be 41 in the live rankings. And what a run, honestly, to the final. All the players that he's beaten.
Yeah, and we'll be deep inside top 50 now. Honestly, I think tomorrow is a very tough challenge for him, but maybe he can just play with like a clear head. By the way, the stats: Comesana 30 unforced errors of the forehand, 21 of the backhand, 55 in total. But yeah, I mean, in the third set, I think we were saying that, like, yeah, he's forced to play a bit more aggressively.
Yes, indeed. And he has started this year off with a 9-2 record, I want to say. So pretty excellent. 9-2 record at the ATP level, that is. Of course, he also had the loss in Rosario, but yeah, I'm looking at the stats, and obviously Müller winning 20 more baseline points. It's pretty massive. Serve was a little bit better for him as well.
Very interesting that Comesana had a lot of unreturned serves, but at the same time, his serve points won stat generally was pretty low. Like, he was winning a lot, like, straight up, but not really converting the attacking positions.
20 out of 24 at net for Müller. Pretty good number. Also winning this first serve points. Yeah, breaking 5 times. So yeah, it wasn't the highest quality match from both. I mean, they certainly littered up the stat sheet at times. Of course, you know, kind of the most choky moment came in the second set tiebreak. And then after that, it was a question of whether it would be the momentum of Comesana or the physicality of Comesana that would fade away first. There weren't really any questions physically for Müller. I thought in the third set it was more about mentally, can he, you know, regain his level? And I feel like he did that pretty well.
Yeah, I think for Müller it was pretty clear that, like, he was the better player for most of the match, but Comesana has a lot of skill and kind of, just can throw a curveball. But eventually, it's like it's Müller who was definitely more, you know, just didn't play with a clear head in the second set tiebreak. But after that, the third set, well, he was always ahead, serving first, but also he was the one, like, creating the early break points and more chances. The more and more they started playing like rallies, things started being tough for Comesana. And well, it's just good for him to survive something like this, because clearly, like, the occasion was getting to him a little bit. Tomorrow, he just kind of needs to go all out, I think, and not worry about the title, not worry about the points, money, or whatever. Because, like, if he's as nervy as he was today, Baez, someone who has done it before, will probably have an edge.
Yeah, I also wonder all the offense that he's been playing now with, you know, coming forward a lot more, you know, taking the ball really early, especially on the backhand. I wonder if he can really hurt Baez on the return in a way that Baez hasn't been challenged this week. Like, it might actually be quite a step up for him. I mean, maybe not a gigantic step up, but still, you know, something different than someone who can unsettle his rhythm. So for that, I think we will get a much more competitive final, certainly, than we did last year, which isn't asking for a whole lot, but you know, I'm excited to see kind of what Müller can throw at him. And he will not be the favorite. I will not probably be picking him to win. I think it's a good chance for Baez will defend his title, but you know, it's a match I'm interested in for sure.
Producer just got back from the pub. Well, I'm sorry, but Dr. Vanch has just read it in the chat and will definitely be writing you some sort of a new remedy for your alcoholism. Yeah, Alexandre Müller. I mean, what sort of progress he made over the last 2 years is it's insane. Certainly can't complain about his confidence right now. More so about whether he will be able to survive physically tomorrow, considering this much, and also just whether he can play with a clear head. As sometimes today, even though he won that ATP 250 in Hong Kong, it was quite obvious that this wasn't that easy for him. This is an interesting question from Martin, and we will be trying. We should try to answer. What's your favorite 250 and 500 tourneys, guys? So for me, as a kid, like Halle and Queens 500s, that was my favorite week. Probably because of Federer doing so well in Halle, but in just general, my love for grass court tennis. But the problem is that like the last few years, Poznan is in the same week, so I don't actually get to watch Halle and Queens all that much. Yeah, and in terms of the 500s, I don't really know if I have a clear favorite right now. Like maybe again, it's one of these quicker ones. So like Dubai, Basel, I think they tend to bring out some good quality stuff. Although last year actually Basel was not that enjoyable, just a lot of serve botting. Rio is actually a good shout though from the producer. I think that it might be one of my favorite 500s as well. And 250s. Estoril not a 250 this year, but yeah, I guess Estoril would be a good shout for me.
250s, honestly, I really like Doha. I don't know, maybe it's just because a lot of the big four
Not a
played it.
250 anymore.
So for that, it used to be that, but now it's
Yeah.
harder to come up with one.
I'm thinking of like maybe something indoors end of the year, like a Stockholm or something like this. Maybe Hamburg is one of my favorite 500s for sure.
Bush, because it's like so speedy fast immediately right after Roland Garros, so the contrast is always insane.
Could be, but I wanted, since I kind of gave a grass court answer for the 500s, I was thinking of just something else. But yeah, Hamburg actually definitely one of my favorites, favorite 500s as well. A lot of memories of watching that as well at home as a kid, simply because, well, as a kid, as like an early teen, simply because it was during the holidays. So like, yeah, I was literally just sitting at home and watching it the entire day. So that one is also pretty close to me for sure. Yeah, somewhere in this vicinity, I would say.
I can tell you my answer on the WTA. I think
What is it?
my favorite 500 is probably Charleston. Maybe it's just because it's a unique clay court event, and it's like it's a tournament I haven't been to, but I've always wanted to go. I just haven't been able to because of the calendar spot and like the week it's been held, and also like how expensive it is to actually go there. But
can you guess
that
what
is a
my
tournament
favorite 500 is on the WTA tour? Because Charleston, I don't feel like I ever watched that much, to be honest. I remember that Ostapenko Kasatkina final, but like usually I don't watch it much.
What is yours? I don't know, Berlin or something?
I think it's the good country. I think Stuttgart.
Stuttgart. Stuttgart is your
Easily,
favorite. Yeah, Stuttgart
it's a very good combination. Just like the indoor clay, fast and slow, kind of at the same time. Laura Ziegmund's run. That's something That's something I loved when I was like 18, 17.
Maybe it's just the time zone is hard for me, but I loved it recently for sure.
Yeah, for me it's obviously just the
I remember getting up at 4 a.m. actually to do the Rybakina Swiatek match last year. It was fun, but yes.
Yeah, of course that really plays into our decision making for this. And I don't know what my favorite 250 is on the WTA. I mean, 250s have been kind of ruined by the WTA
I don't even know
tour.
if I pay attention anymore to them as often as sad as that sounds.
Yeah.
But
Linz is a 500, right?
yeah.
Lyon was just like one edition. So probably nothing indoors.
This year,
Not that there is hot.
I watched more of Auckland. Maybe because Clara Towson, Madison Keys, the
This year
Osaka.
I watched it more than previous years. I
Yeah,
feel like previous years it was mostly boring because it was just
it
like
was
dominated by golf or dominated
golf.
by Mertens.
Then that one year where it was all indoors.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So that was ATP as well that year. Yeah.
yeah, with
So
ATP, I
yeah, I
used
don't
to
know if there are
probably have been
250s right now on the WTA side that are like this memorable. I was twice. I mean, the only WTA tour event that I've ever been to is the one in Warsaw. Yes, the producer, of course, the one in Warsaw. But I had a lot of problems with it, so I don't really know if I can say that I liked it. Yeah, I don't even have like a natural 250 choice. Palermo?
maybe.
No, but honestly, yeah, I'm just trying to come up with something rather than I actually have a favorite WTA Tour 250. But 500 for sure, Stuttgart for me. Yeah, I think that's more or less it. We did talk about most of the things in the chat. I believe Joao agreed about Doha as a 250 and mentioning that stat we talked about earlier as well, that Baez, that no one has won Rio yet twice.
Yep.
Baez, third player to make multiple finals after Alcaraz and Schwartzman. So let's see if he is able to do it. He definitely is the favorite in his final. Alcaraz, I guess we also thought was probably gonna make it in 2023, but of course other stuff got in the way. Producer did see the aftermath indeed of my Thursday and Friday drinking. Yes, I was feeling horrible at the time, but now I'm better. And in order for me to feel better, I probably will have to go to sleep soon. So I think we're gonna be ending. But yes, as Joao says, the 250s are just destroyed on the WTA side. Wait, what was the one? There was a good one. No, that was Linz at the end of the year. Mostly was that a 250 at the time when like Goff won it,
Yeah,
for example?
yeah. Goff won it as a lucky loser.
Yeah, and Golubic
He
had a
beat
run.
Ostapenko in the final.
I think that Linz was my favorite 250. But yeah, now I don't know, most 250s just don't have the stories. Yeah. But I think Linz was my favorite 250 back in the day. Yeah, for sure. Now just top 30 players almost can't play them. Some of them just feel pretty irrelevant, and yeah, it's just like I'm not gonna be watching Austin. I'm sorry. I have 10 events that week that I'm more excited about, and that's brutal maybe, but what can I do?
Yeah, Austin. I remember I didn't even watch a point last year. It was the same week as San
Um,
Diego's.
I probably didn't
So,
either. I don't remember. I'd have to check.
but I
Maybe there
just
was
know that
an interesting
UAE
story.
won it, and I didn't watch a single thing because I was
Oh, actually, no, I was watching that, but that's only because I'm a UA1 fan. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I was thinking about the year when Gracheva won it or something like that. Like that
Yeah,
year, I wasn't watching it whatsoever. Um, was it Gracheva? I think it was.
sounds right. Yeah,
Maybe she lost in the final though.
or maybe it
Anyway,
was no, it was Kostyuk actually. Kostyuk beat
yeah, it
Gracheva.
was Kostyuk Gracheva, right? She lost in the final, I think. Yeah, yeah. I was
Yes.
thinking it was Kostyuk. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Once more, Alexandre Müller, amazing progress. He was the better player. I think he did outlast Comesana as well, and he's going to play Sebastian Baez in the final tomorrow. So good luck to the guys. We will have ATP Weekly tomorrow, I think, after the Rio final. But in terms of the watch along, I don't know if it's there. But you can just check that on the channel as usual. Vansh, any final words?
No, I think we pretty much covered it, and then some. It'll be interesting final tomorrow. Much more looking forward to it than I was last year for sure. Uh, yeah, and pretty well done by Alexander Müller. And we'll see what he can do tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course, tomorrow also four challenger finals. You should all watch. Well, maybe Dalibor Stina, Brandon Holt you can skip, but the all Norwegian in Glasgow, Viktor Durasovic, Nikolai Budkov-Kjær, fantastic stuff. Calvin Emery going for that second title for the umpteenth time against, of course, Jeffrey Blancano, worth watching for the story. And Rafael Corignon trying to break the top 100 against the unexpected Patrick Zachraj. Yeah, Duarte Valle got in Acapulco qualifying indeed, Joao, but well, Stefan Kozlov, at least last time I checked, was kind of crashing him. Oh, well, Duarte just broke back. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it. And once more, thank you for your attention and thank you for all the comments. It was super fun to talk about Alexandre Müller and Francisco Comesana on these 2 streams because I was an idiot. And yeah, if you want some light, podcasts to listen to before you go to bed, Iga and Carlos Tennis Show, I hear they just released an episode. So you should probably check that out. Well,
nice plug.
yeah, I think it's great, right? I mean, I've only just started listening to the show, but it sounds solid.
Yeah, I think there's some familiar faces on the YouTube page that you guys all know.
Yeah, one of the hosts is a massive douchebag, but the other seems okay, so that's good.
Yeah, the other one is just one of those people from Poland. I don't remember his name now, but yeah. Okay.
Is there any famous Twitter Polish account like that you would know?
Yeah,
probably not, right? I was trying to make a reference to somebody, so like insert that person, but I guess probably that's not existing. Anyway,
I heard he's really into challengers. I don't know.
Probably yes. Yeah, I'm gonna run before I die of insomnia. Thank you, Vansh. Yeah. Thank you to even to the producer who's like kind of went quiet now and probably might be getting to bed already. And thank you to, of course, everybody in the chat again. And yeah, we'll see you guys some other time. ATP Weekly tomorrow after Rio final probably. So make sure to tune in for that. And I'll set up the outro video so you can see John Silk one more time. Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.